Hey guys, it is Friday evening here in West Virginia, and sorry I got a really late start for today's video because this morning when I woke up I had no voice. It's still not 100% perfect right now. As I mentioned a couple days ago, and I have been mentioning probably for over a month now, I had a sinus infection in November, and since then my voice and sinuses have not been the same. I don't know if I got COVID or something like that, but I haven't had any fever or any other symptoms that are part of COVID, just a sinus infection and a loss of voice and some sinus problems. But that's why I'm a little late today. It took me almost half the day to get my voice back. So today we have a few loose cars and a couple carded ones that we're cracking open for free at Friday. As I mentioned, as last week or the week before, I've been acquiring a lot of loose stuff because I open the cars anyways, and well, if I can buy them cheaper loose and they're mint, I might as well get them that way. And then some cars just pop up that are like, wow, that's cool, so I'm going to grab it. Like the green OBS here, I picked him up, and this I had before. It is actually the one from the GMC Pontiac set where they had the OBS, the 1998 OBS 4x4. But somebody has taken this truck and put it on a dropped chassis, and it did have the silver IROC 5-spokes, but I took those off and added some gold spokes on it from a cartoon car. That way it kind of corresponds well with my Autoworld Cat Eye Silverado with the gold spokes. And that one I think I've showed you guys before. And then I just ended up fixing the chrome spokes where they work or fit again, because I grinded down the back part of them so much that they did not have much of a nipple for the axle to slide into. So I had to glue them basically right to the axle, and I got that worked out, and they roll pretty nice. So that's what I did with this square body. But I think you guys have seen that square body. That's the Miho Speed Shop lift set where they had the green one that was a like rusted out barn find, and then this guy here that was on a Pro Street style chassis with the 5-spokes. So anyways, that's one of the loose trucks I picked up with the two that I'm going to show you now. I picked this guy up because I've been really trying to find some of the old school GM performance cars, but from the supercar dealers that they were called back in the 60s and 70s. So this is a Baldwin Motion, I think like Phase 3 Vega. And they did actually make these. Most of them were small block cars, but I did hear that there was a few big block ones that made it out of the dealership. I don't know if they were track only or if some of them were actually run on the street. But as you can see, this guy's got a dual quad V8 under the hood. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a small block or big block. I'm going to say small block because a big block usually hits the inner fenders of the Vega. So anyways, a very cool piece. I just wish they would have put matching wheels all the way around. I know they were going for like the racing slicks on like some super lights from Centerline or something, because when they sold the cars from Baldwin Motion, they had Kragers on them and street tires. So I guess that was what they were going for. But I really am thinking about wheel swapping this one and putting a set of Kragers on the back of it from another Johnny Lightning car to just have matching wheels all the way around. That would be the only thing I would do to it, but I don't know yet because I would have to drill it to do that because the Johnny Lightning wheels and tires and on the Kragers are just like Hot Wheels. This is like a hubcap and tire, as you can see. You peel it off, and underneath you have a hub, almost like a brake drum, with the axle, with the mushroom tip that slides through that wheel. But these guys back here are different. These are like the Hot Wheels Lowriders, where it has the mushroom tip going through the wheel, and there's no hub three-piece setup like the front wheels. So that's what I want to do, is change it over to the same style as the front wheels. But I don't know if I'm going to do that yet or not. And another thing, the Motion Vegas did not have radiused wheel openings. For the most part, I mean, it could have been an option, but even the ones that I have seen that were almost in the same color combo, it was bright red with the white phase 3 or phase 2 stripes and the Pro Stock style hood. And it had regular quarter panels, and it was jacked up a little bit in the ass end with some traction bars on the leaf springs. So, but anyways, yeah, very cool car. Now, the other one that I picked up is a pretty rare color combo for the 70 Impala. It's one of the first ones released. It's one of 2,500, and when I got this, I got it home, and, well, I got it in the mail, and I noticed the front bumper was not painted on the lower half, and the back bumper, the whole center, including the tail lights, were not painted. I couldn't believe it. It was an error from Autoworld, which that doesn't happen too often. It does occasionally, but not too often. So I ended up taking some Sharpies and coloring in the bumpers and coloring in the tail lights. Luckily, I had a fine point Sharpie that was red. I've had that for a while. I think I actually got that in the Philippines. But I was able to fix the tail light and bumper error on the car. And it has a really cool plate, SBC for small block Chevy 350. Most of them that they that they produce, they have the big blocks in, and they put like 427 or 454 on the plate. But this is cool that it's a small block car. I do dig that. So this one, basically, I think what I'm going to do with it is put a set of 3D printed 13-inch chrome Daytons on it. I got some ordered, so that's what's going to happen with this guy. So those are the loose finds that I have for the week. Now the two carded ones. This guy just got in the mail earlier today, and this is a pretty cool one. The 64 Chevy Impala. They do make a counterpart to this car that is gold with, I think, like a dark blue or black stripes on it. Same cars, same paint job, but just different colors. And anyways, the purple one is the cheaper one, and the gold one, they usually, I don't know if they're selling for this, but people usually want like 80 bucks to 100 bucks for it, which it's a nice car, but I just don't see it being that big of a money car. It's not really nice looking like the silver and red two-tone one that goes for 150 bucks or so. But yeah, 40 bucks is what I paid for this one, and I think that's what the gold one would be worth, in my opinion, because I kind of like the dark purple one the best. So let's get him out, take a look at him. I've already kind of taken this blister loose and had the car out already. And this was released back in 2003. So as you can see, this had a big lineup of stuff. Yeah, a couple different colors on some, and then there was a few that just had one color. So anyways, as I mentioned, it's a dark purple with light metal flake in it. And the painting on the hood, I don't know, it looks like the castle from He-Man. Or so, it does. It looks like the castle from Masters of the Universe with the skull on the front. I don't know if that was like Gray Skull is what it was called, something like that. It's been a long time since I've watched that cartoon, but that's exactly what came to my mind when I seen that picture. And the interior is done in two-tone. I like when they do that. It just adds a little more flair to the interior. Pink and white two-tone. And it has a green and lavender zigzag style graphic, tribal graphic, maybe I would call it. And the plate says 6.4, which is pretty cool. Chrome spoke wheels, opening deck lid with batteries, and chrome, well, silver pumps. Pretty cool. And this one, what I like is this one, I can get it to set on three-wheel motion, kind of. Well, now it's going to make a liar out of me, probably. Let me see here. Yeah, it's not going to do it now. I had it on three wheels earlier. Some of the Revells you can do that with, get them to set up on three wheels, but most of them won't. They just usually do the front and back and not even side to side. But sometimes you can get one side to lock up and the other one to be down and get the three-wheel going or get some side-to-side action going. But anyways, just even up and down is cool with me. It's a really cool car. Glad to add this one to the growing Lowrider collection. And last but not least by far is a 70 Monte Carlo called Cotton Candy. And this one was released back in 2002. And this doesn't even tell you what was in the series. It just has it right up on the back. A special kind of custom car has taken over the cruising scene these days. They're called Lowriders, and they do exactly what their name implies. They ride low and mean. They come in all shapes and sizes, and each car is unique. A lowrider can be a meticulously restored bomb from the classic era of the 30s and 40s, or it can be a long and lean 60s Chevy with incredibly detailed airbrush graphics across the entire body. It can be a luxurious 70s cruiser with hydraulics that send it hopping in every direction, or it can be a brand new aerodynamic hot hatch with custom low profile tires and brilliant chrome wheels. No matter what category it falls into, a lowrider is part of a culture that is more than just a car club. It's a whole way of life. And that's pretty much true, too. So, anyways, this guy, the blister came all the way off. That's what I've had the problem with, well, it's not really a problem because I open them, but the blisters totally come off on some of these. And this is a really cool Monte. I don't think there's a second paint color to this one. I think the Cotton Candy was only done in one color. For example, there's this guy up here, the green and lavender, that has the two laughing face mask on there, kind of like the Joker mask that you find in a deck of cards. But they're the Jester, I guess, mask, I would call them. Well, it has a counterpart to it that is purple with the lavender inserts. And, well, purple or dark red. I have it actually coming. That should be here maybe tomorrow or Monday. And we'll be doing that one probably next week on Friday. But anyways, that is how Revell did a lot of them, where they were released in two different colors, and some they were not. They were released only one color, and that was it. But most lowriders that they release, actually all of them, have at least like 3 or 4 variations of the car. And then, as I mentioned, some have multiple variations and like duplicates of each version, kind of like an Autoworld thing going on where they have version A and version B. It's kind of like what Revell did with some of the lowriders. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, trying to get them all, you'll go broke and trying to acquire all of them. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. Once again, sorry for being late. We do have some cool stuff in the making. We have a lot of custom parts coming. We have 3 more chassis. We are going to be juicing the SEMA Regal, the Greenlight 73 Caddy, and the Johnny Lightning Lowrider 80 Monte Carlo. We're going to be putting adjustable suspension on all 3 of them. We have wheels coming. We're going to wheel swap all of the Fineworks Impalas up here, and then we'll swap the Hot Wheels 53 Chevys. We're also going to probably will swap a couple Revells just to see how they look. But anyways, that's coming, and we also have some wheels for the dualies, the M2 dualies. We'll swap a couple of them. So we have a lot of 3D printed parts coming, and we have some more Lowriders coming. As I mentioned, that Monte Carlo. We have another Cadillac from Revell coming, a few other ones, and we have some Autoworld Mopars to unbox for you guys on Mopar Monday coming in a couple days. So be sure to turn on your notification bell so you know when we drop a new video. Sometimes we do spontaneous stuff. This weekend, though, I think I'm going to take it easy and rest my voice. That way I'm good for Monday. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend.